All right, let's take a look at the online access part. Now we have two different ways you can go with the online access. We have a free online access component that just comes with your user subscriptions that you can configure and set up. And it's basic. It lets you do the basic things like apply for permits and things like that. Or you can do a custom one where you can control what it looks like. You can make it do basically whatever you want. So you have two different ways to go. The freebie that has basic functionality, or you can do a custom one, which is, I think it's $5,000 a year is the annual fee for that. I'm going to log in as a different user so I can kind of just get to the admin side of this. Okay, so the freebie one, you configure it over here in the admin section. There's a tab for citizen access pages. So you can configure this. We can do it for you, whichever you prefer. And so you can come in and say, all right, we want to do code enforcement, permitting, licensing, whatever items you want to allow on the access pages. You can set header page and welcome page. And then within the different components, you can select your options. So if we look at this one for permitting, we're going to allow new permits online. We're going to allow searches. If you want to load FAQs, you can do that. And then within the permits, you can select what sort of information people can view and look at. And then you can let them schedule inspections. You can say that they can't do it if there's a balance due. You can set up what days are valid, what times are valid, what's the cutoff time for same-day inspection. You can set up payment options as well. So let's take a look at this. This is just a link so that you could look at it. So here's a sample one. You would generally load your image up here. And then these options on the side are the links to the different components that you configured. So if I go into permitting, these were the options that I could see: apply for permit, view your permit, search for permits. So let's see if I can come up with an email address here. I don't go in here this often, so I always forget. No. All right, let's register because I don't remember login. So I can register. And in the registering, you can put in what fields are required. You know, do you want to have them? They need to have an address or a phone number or first name and last name, whatever you want. Okay, so now that I'm registered, I can apply for permits, search for permits. So if I want to apply for a permit, if I have any existing projects going on, they'll be listed here. If not, I can click here to start a new one. So let's say I'm doing a re-roof or something. I can type in a description, my address, and go select permit types. If you want to allow them to upload their documents or plans, things like that, they can. You can kind of control the text in the header sections here. So we'll submit, and then that gets it routed to a certain person on the whoever you defined it that's going to receive these applications. And then they can come in and look at their requests. And then within the request, in the permit application, you can say which of these tabs they're allowed to see. So if I wanted to take people off, I could take the contacts tab off so they wouldn't see that. If I didn't want to show reviews, I could show reviews. And then, so they can look at different things in here. When they can leave a message, which just sends you a message about it. They can make a payment, or they can also request an inspection. So this is sort of the basic information that they can view and access. And you can also open up searching. So if you want to let anyone search, they can come in and allow any searching.
So on that application page, that first page, is it possible, even in the freebie version, to add more information there? Or would we just ask them to attach our building permit as an attachment, our existing form that they would have printed out as a PDF?
Ideally, that application entry form is going to, it won't look exactly like your actual application,
right?
But it'll contain all that data.
That first
so
page?
Hopefully you would eliminate that piece of paper. They would just fill out the form online, and you wouldn't have to have them also fill out a piece of paper and attach it. But if you wanted to, you could still say you need to, fill out the paper and
So we
mail
could
it.
have fields on that submittal page.
It pulls off the fields based on how we set up your permit application.
Okay.
So back over here, and it's sort of a, let me pull one up just to show you B11. When you set up these custom fields, you can select which ones should show up on the online access. So if you have official use only sort of fields, you don't select those and they don't show up on the page for the applicants to fill in.
Okay. But it can be a little more than just their street address.
Right. Right. We didn't have any of the custom fields showing up, so it was just basics. So if you search, again, so you can allow searching to search on anything, or you can restrict it to just letting people see the jobs that they're involved with. And if you've got, let's see if this one has any documents. So here, this one's got documents. They would be able to view these things and take a look at them, download them, if you gave them access to this. So they could see their inspection reports and all kinds of stuff. So that's a general overview of the online access piece.
Okay.
Any questions on that one?
And then just going back to the permitting, I know we went over it in the first review, but it can generate reports. I often ask, well, what's going on such and such a street? If we can do a query and they can print a report out for me in Excel that would show everything on a certain street or something to that effect.
They can. The reports, there's several standard reports that come with the system, but the majority of our customers use custom reports that either they can create through the report writer, or if it's a more complex report, you can ask us to set it up. That's just part of your maintenance and your support. So if you need any custom reports, we can create them for you. There's no charge or anything for that. And you can export the reports to a spreadsheet, PDF, or you can just view them in the system. And I didn't show you the GIS part because you can also search that way as well. If I pull up, let's say I'm going to go, I'll type in an address here and do a search. It shows you where that is on the map. And then there's different things you can view here. You can look at different layers. So if I want to look at the zoning layer, I can check that. And these are just generally layers that you may already have in your existing GIS system. So here's a zoning layer. And so it's just highlighting the different areas. And if you click it, it'll tell you what zone that is. So that's an R1. You can also, if you said, oh, I want to see what else is going on in this area, you could come over here and say, show me all the other open files. And it'll pop up little bullet points wherever there are any. Little tags. So you can look at things from a GIS perspective as well.